We're back with another big scandal story. Johnny Depp has been mentioned to leave from the forthcoming Incredible Beast 3 in the wake of losing his high-profile defamation activity against the distributors of the Sun newspaper over a 2018 article that depicted him as a wife-beater. Depp has vehemently denied the claims of abuse, but was all over again denied permission to appeal the court's ruling in March 2021. Court of Appeal judges said that the first hearing was full and fair, which the magistrate gave thorough reasons for his conclusions, which haven't been shown even arguably to be vitiated by any error of reproach or mistake of law. Depp has recently been involved with Winona Ryder from 1989 to 1993, Kate Moss, 1994 to 1998, and Vanessa Paradis in 1998 to 2012. However, he hit up a relationship with Heard not long after gathering her on the arrangement of 2009's The Rum Diary. Meanwhile, Heard was in a real relationship with photographer and painter Tasia Van Ree for a long time, from 2008 to 2012. On May 23, 2016, Heard filed for divorce from Depp and also obtained a short-lived restraining order against the Oscar-nominated actor. She alleged that Depp had physically abused her during the relationship and said it had usually been while under the influence of medication or alcohol. She alleged that at the time of filing for divorce, an occasion had recently taken place during which Depp threw his phone at her, leaving her with a bruised face. However, a police representative told individuals who had an examination concerning the homegrown episode radio call tracked down that no wrongdoing had occurred. Depp denied these charges and through his representatives said Heard was endeavoring to get an untimely monetary goal by asserting maltreatment. A $7 million settlement was connected to court on August 16, 2016. Heard affirmed her swearing to tell the truth at a testimony. However, a settlement was ultimately reached after she pulled out her solicitation for a savagery limiting request. She additionally repealed her spousal help solicitation of $50,000 every month. Depp and Heard also released a joint statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and sometimes volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for gain." It continued, "There is never any intent of physical or emotional harm." Heard received $7 million from the divorce, but donated to charity in line with People. In December 2018, Heard wrote an op-ed for the Washington Post saying she was abused, during which she spoke about the treatment of ladies in domestic abuse cases. Within the op-ed, Heard wrote, "I became a name representing domestic abuse, and that I felt the complete force of our culture's wrath for ladies who speak out." Depp himself was never mentioned by name. Amber Heard's father threatened to shoot Johnny Depp during the couple's harsh separation, consistent with a witness within the actor's defamation case. David Kalaki, who worked on both Heard and Depp's classic cars at his California shop Performance Allison Transmissions, with the wake of their 2016 split, claimed that Heard was abusive toward him while her father, David Heard, made death threats towards Depp on telephone calls. Kalaki's allegations were delivered to light within the court battle over Depp's $50 million lawsuit accusing Heard of defaming him by writing an exceedingly Washington Post op-ed that she was a survivor of force. She never named him in it, yet Depp claims that in light of the fact that their harsh separation was so open, it induced that he had been savage towards her, something he demands could be clearly false. Depp's lawyers say that Kalaki's account proves that Heard was motivated by money to talk out against her ex-husband. In legal documents obtained by The Blast, Kalaki portrayed a few very threatening discussions with both Heard and her dad after he moved toward them about paying for the fixes to their vehicles. Kalaki said the abuse began after he told Heard that each one work on their cars would need to be paid directly instead of through Depp's management. "I received what can only be described as a very hostile response from Amber," he said within the court documents. "I did my best to convey to her that I failed to wish to induce within the middle of the dispute between her and Mr. Depp. She failed to receive this information okay. Her first reaction was to verbally abuse me with explicitives, threats, and a continued rant over what she claimed was an unfortunate financial downturn of her personal finances caused by Mr. Depp. At a certain point, she said, 'You mother effer, no doubt about it.' Kalaki said Heard disclosed to him she had a legitimate concerns with Depp, which specified that he was at risk for covering her bills, and that assuming I anticipated installment, I ought to advance bills to Mr. Depp. He said that he stopped communicating with her directly after a very unpleasant call, and shortly began to listen to her father instead. He said that David Heard became very bitter toward Mr. Depp after his daughter's separation. During one call about the repairs, David Heard allegedly told Kalaki that effing piece of S is effing me too because I'm imagined to get 10% of the money, and without it, I cannot produce the movie I used to be gonna make. He is ruining my baby girl's career and blackballing her in Hollywood." David Heard went on to say, "When I purchased him, I'm visiting, beat the SHIT out of him, and I'm from Texas, and men from Texas carry 45s, and Johnny goes to fulfill the effing end of mine," Kalaki claimed. "I told Mr. Heard that it sounded to me like he was drunk. He said, "Yeah, maybe I am, and I am visiting, shove the bottle up your ass." Kalaki reported the threatening conversation with David Heard to police, suggesting that it should be passed along to Depp's legal team. Depp's lawyers, Adam Waldman, said Kalaki's record firmly upholds the contention that she blamed the entertainer for maltreatment for monetary reasons. Mr. Kalaki's chilling direct involvement in Amber Heard and her family uncovered the thought process behind Amber Heard's maltreatment deception: cash. Waldman disclosed to The Blast. Money is why Amber Heard moved her sister and 4 other co-conspirators into Johnny Depp's multi-million-dollar penthouses rent-free. Money is why Amber Heard chopped Mr. Depp's finger off with a tossed vodka bottle the day his lawyers requested that she consent to a postnuptial agreement. Cash is the reason Amber Heard trapped Mr. Depp with a maltreatment lie the day he educated her he was separating from her. Cash is the reason Amber Heard's PR/legal team sent Mr. Depp an extortion letter before placing her hoax on the Quilt of Individuals magazine. Money is why Amber Heard's father threatened to kill Johnny Depp. Heard's lawyers haven't publicly commented on Kalaki's claims. However, her attorney, Roberta Kaplan, recently accused Depp's legal team of trying to pull out the case by failing to supply critical evidence, including the actor's medical records. Mr. Depp has made it clear that his strategy is to run out the clock during the vacation season in order that Ms. Heard can't get basic proof and declaration to confirm her protections to the unmerited malign he recorded against her, Kaplan said. While Mr. Depp would really like the trial to be a he-said-she-said contest of his own skills as an actor, Ms. Heard, who would like that the case be about the reality of what really happened, has asked the court for a comparatively brief 2-month continuance to present her time to get the evidence that Mr. Depp has stubbornly resisted producing. The case is ready to travel to trial in August of next year. It absolutely was delayed 6 months after Depp missed a November 15th deadline to supply court-ordered records associated with drug and alcohol abuse. Heard desires to crush Depp's slander claim by demonstrating her charges that her ex is a drunkard with addictions to drugs who regularly kicked her, beat her, and on occasion was fierce to the point that she blacked out. Depp denied those allegations and insisted that Heard was the violent one in their relationship, claiming that he needed to possess his finger surgically reattached after she hurled a vodka bottle at him. Heard's lawyers have asked the judge to stay the whole case under seal because she says she doesn't want private details of their friends' and family's lives to become public, which they inevitably will if they're submitted as a part of the record. Depp, however, says he has nothing to cover and desires to hash the whole thing out publicly.